This is KGW News at Sunrise.
It's not like I'm working in a war zone. You know, I'm just in a downtown fancy Pearl district.
Yeah, crowd of people. A crowd of people went running for cover after a shooting in the middle of the afternoon in the heart of Portland's Pearl District. And that was just one example of what wound up being another violent weekend in the city.
1 year after wildfire devastates the Santiam Canyon, communities come together to mourn what they lost and recognize how far they've come.
Plus, the Portland Marathon losing a big sponsor. Sponsoring such a huge event during a pandemic, it doesn't look great for a place like OHSU. We'll have more on them dropping it.
Yeah, that event is coming up at the beginning of October. This is still early September. Yes. A live look outside on this Tuesday morning. We are through the holiday weekend, which means Brendan, Nina, myself back to work. Rod held down the fort yesterday. Yes. So Rod, this is also a big day for thousands of kids throughout the area. We know some kids in the Gresham-Barlow, the Salem-Kaiser school districts going back to school today.
Yeah. Those kids are still probably sleeping, trying to get rested up.
Well, wake up!
So, oh my goodness, let's keep it down. All right, good morning, everybody. These are your numbers: 51 in Hillsborough, 50 in Sandy, some of the cooler ones. It's 60 degrees in Portland. We're partly cloudy outside this morning. We have light winds, 61 in Salem. We'll be talking about air quality issues coming up, increasing wildfire smoke expected today. To the bus stop we go, about 60 out the door in the city of Portland on average, and 77 at noon. And when the kids get out of school, we think noticeably increasing wildfire haze, about 87. We could go on to reach 90 for a high today.
Rod, thank you so much. Hey, new overnight, this one is really scary. Portland police say a woman was hit in the face by a stray bullet while she was sleeping. This happened overnight near Southeast 64th and Woodward Street. Police say she is being treated at a local hospital right now. You see the bullet hole there right in her home, and she will be okay. We'll follow this story throughout the morning.
Well, that happened after another violent weekend on the streets, this time in broad daylight. A shooting in the Pearl District around 1:30 Saturday afternoon injured 3 people. Another shooting a couple hours later in Northeast left a neighborhood on edge. Our Morgan Romero has more.
It was definitely kind of sobering for a lot of us.
No one expects to hear gunshots when they sit down for a relaxing Saturday brunch.
It's not like I'm working in a war zone. You know, I'm just in a downtown fancy Pearl district.
Just a block from World Foods, where Steve Williams works, witnesses say shots rang out at Everybody Eats. The popular black-owned restaurant on Northwest 10th and Davis strives to use food to give back to the community.
People are running this way from the shots, which are over there. People are running in the store. People eating brunch were coming in. Some people weren't. Everyone was kind of huddled together. We had the doors closed, just kind of waiting to see what would happen.
Portland police say people got into a fight inside this restaurant in the heart of the Pearl District, and shots were fired. The fight was then taken outside the restaurant, where more shots were fired in broad daylight. PPB says a woman and 2 teen boys were hurt in the shooting, all involved in the fight. They were driven to a hospital and are expected to live. Police arrested a man, but couldn't say whether charges were filed Monday.
Not a good trend. The level of chaos is definitely higher than I've seen it.
Saturday's shooting in the Pearl wasn't the only one in the city this weekend.
It feels nerve-wracking for that part.
On Northeast Highland and Rodney, Adam Johnson's security camera caught a drive-by shooting.
The way that things have been going in Portland, I guess, it's not completely surprising to me. But this area, this little pocket, seems to be really quiet, and we have kids on every corner in every house, like here.
He says he watched 3 cars pull up and people in one of them shoot at another.
I grabbed my 5-year-old and hit her over here behind the fence. And there was about 5 other kids playing in the neighbor's front yard too, and they had kind of all got down too.
You can see Johnson running to his youngest on a scooter around the corner.
He was down there and the shots had come this way. So I didn't know what I was really gonna find. But luckily he had just went into the garage, which he never does. And he was okay.
Although shaken, the Johnsons don't want what happened to change how they live, but rather spark action.
If we let something like that fear change us, then that problem will continue to persist.
Morgan Romero, KGW News.
All right, right now we want to get to 3 things to know about COVID this morning. We start with this. Number 1, experts expect another jump in cases after the Labor Day holiday. In addition to concerts and packed stadiums for college football, TSA data shows air travel over Labor Day was back to the levels we saw 2 years ago. According to an NBC News tally, there have been more than 40 million COVID cases in the U.S. and about 653,000 deaths. Number 2 this morning, Dr. Anthony Fauci says booster shots of the Pfizer vaccine will likely start 2 weeks from today on September 20th. But the rollout for Moderna's vaccine booster could be delayed. The Biden administration has announced plans to offer third doses pending approval from public health officials. And the timing of the third dose will be 8 months after people got their second shot of either Pfizer or Moderna. And number 3, starting tomorrow, some movie theaters in Portland will require proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test within 48 hours of your movie. That list includes the Laurelhurst Theater, Cinema 21, Hollywood Theater, Living Room Theaters, and Cinemagic. Masks are also required in all those theaters, in all areas of those theaters, and can only be taken off when you're eating or drinking. And those are 3 things to know about COVID this morning.
Well, we're learning more about OHSU's decision to pull out as the lead sponsor for the Portland Marathon. The hospital issued a brief statement saying it'll postpone its sponsorship of this year's event. The statement danced around the obvious, but clearly OHSU feels there's a danger of spreading COVID with so many people gathering close together for the running event. When we reached out to them yesterday, they said no one was available to discuss it. Marathon organizers say they respect the decision and also weren't able to talk to us. The marathon homepage states anyone involved will have to show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test. They'll also have to wear masks at the beginning and end of the race, but not while running. One runner planning to take part in the half marathon said she's comfortable with those precautions.
I think so. I mean, I'm going to do the half, so I, just stay spread apart. I've been doing virtual races and even some smaller races around. So as long as people are respectful of that, but I think they will be.
She says being able to run during the pandemic helped her keep her sanity, and she's looking forward to running a race with others this time.
1 year later, people continued to recover from wildfires that destroyed thousands of homes and burned 1 million acres. Over the holiday weekend, KGW's Christine Pitawanich checked in with people in the Santiam Canyon, home to some of the hardest hit areas.
On Monday, people from Idana, Detroit, and all over came together to mark 1 year since wildfire tore through the Santiam Canyon. Dozens of people showed up for the event. They came together as a community, talked with one another, ate together, and grief counselors as well as chaplains were available if anyone needed them. We spoke with one of the organizers with the Idana Detroit Fire Corps. It's an organization supporting the volunteer fire district.
We wanted to have a formal mark on this day to give people the opportunity to come together as a community to collectively process those feelings and emotions.
And it's not just people in Idana marking 1 year since the fire. Yesterday, the city of Detroit held a similar event, celebrating resiliency and a community still standing and moving forward. Mill City also held an event on Sunday, and Gates will be holding a community dinner on Tuesday night. I've spoken to people here in the canyon who say they are so proud to be part of a community so strong. In Idana, Christine Pitawanich, KGW News.
Wildfire smoke is clouding the air in Central Oregon. The poor air quality is causing trouble for people and for businesses. The smoke is from the Middle Fork complex burning in the Willamette National Forest. For 2 days in a row, the poor air quality canceled concerts at the Les Schwab Amphitheater. The smoke is also affecting people's health. One urgent care in Redmond says it's seeing a big jump in patients. People are complaining about a dry, scratchy throat, and they're not sure if their symptoms are from the smoke or from COVID.
Smoke alone will increase anyone's negative symptoms, whether they are having itchy eyes, burning eyes, congestion.
Crews working the Middle Fork complex warn it may take a big change in the weather to contain the fires, so expect the smoke to be a lingering issue.
Yeah, it was super bad. It sent us home early from our vacation over there, Rod, because you just couldn't do anything outside. But yeah, today marks a big anniversary, the 1 year from the Labor Day fires last year.
And just a quick reminder, this graphic behind me, that this a year ago was an east wind driven event, a strong east wind event that we typically think about getting in the middle of winter, not in fire season. And of course, now we know what it led to. But Portland, it was Labor Day on September 7th a year ago. Portland hit a gust of 52, Beaverton 59. Government Island had a 60-mile-per-hour wind. Mount Hood at 7,700 feet had over 100-mile-per-hour winds, 106. And do you remember this? I do. By late afternoon on that Labor Day, we had sunshine, and then there was just this wall of wildfire smoke that took over our skies, and then it just sat on top of us for days and days and days. Here are the active air quality alerts today. This does include Marion, Lynn, Deschutes County, and then eastward into John Day, also some counties down in southern Oregon. The current DEQ map of air quality reports, the red dots are unhealthy, and the purple here, very unhealthy in southern Deschutes County. Again, that's been a spot of bad air quality for days and days and days, and then down in the southwestern corner of our state as well. All right, what about the wildfire smoke today? Here's Tuesday at 4:45 this afternoon. This does show in yellow, increasing wildfire haze holding near and east of I-5. And then if I play this overnight, look at this. There's a bit of an east wind flow that develops today, and that brings some thicker smoke over Portland overnight. But there's a disturbance that comes in overnight that should take that smoke and push it out. Here's Futurecast, 7:30 tonight. Thicker clouds at the coast. Here comes the disturbance. A chance of rain at the beach around midnight. This is 11:30. A chance overnight that some of us will get a scattered shower. And then that disturbance takes that smoke and it gets out of here. And tomorrow should be much improved visibility for a good portion of our region. Real quick, I'm running out of time, but here are your morning numbers to start your day. Good morning, Portland. Good morning, Salem. 61 degrees out at the airports right now. 90 in Portland, but 85 tomorrow. And much of the state will see improved visibility and air quality tomorrow, which is good news. Back to you.